connect back up there, back in the 90s.
Whenever you're ready, Coach.
Ready?
Yeah.
Well, you know, obviously, I said before the game on the radio, you know, that the big thing we were really impressed with Kearney is they had a very skilled offensive team, and they're really a smart offensive team, as you can see. And they make tremendous plays with basketball. Their bigs pass the ball really well, and you know, and we knew that Nemiker and Luger were really good inside. Two really good veteran post guys. So, you know, we knew we had our hands full there. And I thought, you know, for the most part, the first half, we really did a nice job with them. And, you know, even though, you know, they shot the ball extremely well from three, otherwise, though, I thought we did some really good things in the first half. Got off to kind of a rough start offensively, but we were able to keep our composure and get ourselves back into it. And, you know, and be only down 2 at half, I thought was really good for the way we started. Second half, you know, again, they came out, they made a nice adjustment. They went at our post, but they created a 2-man game right there in the paint. And so, you know, for us, that was something we hadn't seen yet. We hadn't seen that on film in their 3 games that they played. So I think that was just something that they maybe either they had in or made an adjustment at halftime and added it. And so they got us early on that, and then we were able to kind of adjust. We did some switching and stuff, and then, you know, again, just a little bit of their experience. They were very patient down there. They were able to get to the front of the rim and got deep on us a couple times. And then offensively for us, we just had some really bad possessions again in the second half. So when you add those 2 things up, that's really what ended up being the difference in the game. I think we had about 2 stretches where we had some bad turnovers. They ended up capitalizing into a 3, and then got some stuff at the free throw line. And then there was another stretch where, again, I think we didn't turn over as much, but we just didn't score. And then they were able to capitalize on that little stretch on us as well. So, you know, they shot 55%. We don't give that up very often. You know, kudos to them. You got to give them a lot of credit for that and for knocking down shots. And, you know, for us, we're a team we're still learning, obviously. You know, I was kind of hoping maybe we'd be a little, after last year, we'd be a little bit further ahead this year. But, you know, our non-conference schedule is tough. It's good. It's making us better. But we're also learning some hard lessons the hard way. So I just told our guys, keep your heads up. You know, keep your heads up. It's really reminiscing more of our team from my first year as the head coach. And so we went through a lot of growing pains with that group. And we're kind of in that same line with that group. Hopefully, that curve will pick up and trend a little quicker than that group did, just because we do have some guys that have some experience on this team. But overall, we're just going to come in tomorrow. We're going to continue. We're going to learn from this, and then we're going to get ready for our next game. Come up on Saturday against Montana State Billings.
You were, you know, down at halftime. It was a close first half, but you were out shooting the field goal percentage-wise, 59% in the first half.
Yep.
How do you get your guys to continue that in the second half and play a full 40 minutes?
Yeah, you know, another adjustment they made, they started switching our ball screens, okay? And we wanted to take that mismatch, and so it took us, again, maybe just a couple times, a couple possessions where we didn't quite get that where we wanted. But finally, we got it down there, and, you know, we missed some shots. You know, we had some great attacks by our guards off their bigs, and we just didn't finish at the rim. You know, some of that is just experience. You know, we're probably a little quick. And, you know, as Coach K said, is that there's a difference between shooting and finishing. And so we got to learn how to finish down there. And because when you go to the rim, you're going to get challenged. And whether you get bumped as a foul or not, there's going to be contact generally. And we just got to learn to finish better with that contact. I thought we did better tonight than we did this past weekend. So I think there's progress there. But we still just got to continue to get better with that. And then same with our posts. You know, it's tough. They got this new rule in with our posts. We're trying to learn and grow with it. It's not very consistent, and so it's throwing them off probably a little bit. I don't want to make excuses. I'm not pointing fingers at the officials. I think our officials do a great job. I think we just got to figure it out, how it's going to, you know, sooner, how it's going to be, and don't let us affect us too much. You know, adaptability is one of our core values of being able to adapt quicker. And we just haven't adapted real well when that game has been called a certain way, and so that's probably the 2 biggest things for us in that second half. You know, I just looked right away. You know, Brandon Walsh is 2 for 6. He's better than that in there. Okay, And even Colton Mortensen, he probably should have been able to hit one. He missed, I know in the first half, he missed 2 point blanks. He just doesn't miss. But I know and I don't think they were fouls, but I just think he got contact, and I think it was good, clean contact, and we just didn't finish with that contact. So we got to be able to finish those plays with that contact.
How did you game plan for their 3-point shooting? Because even when you were defending it well, they were pulling up from deep and they were hitting it.
Yeah, I mean, give them credit. I thought honestly, I think this is the best game they've shot from 3. So, they came in, and you give their kids credit. Players make plays, and they knocked down some really timely threes. I think every time that we made a surge, it seemed like they would come up with a big 3. And so that's what they've got those kids for. We've got kids too. I mean, I thought we shot the 3 really well. At 7 for 17, that's a good shooting percentage right there. We'll take over 40% every single night. Unfortunately, they shot 50, and shot a few more than we did. I didn't think there was too many that we didn't really at least get there for a hand. They're really good at gripping and getting you to the rim too, and so you can't just go rushing out hard on them. But we got to just we'll see. I got to really see the tape probably to see a little bit more of how they got open on a couple of them. But like you said, it felt like they just kept backing up on us. So.
Ali Rema, he just has these moments, 2, 3, 4 minutes a game where he seems like he just absolutely can take over the game at any point. How do you kind of get that maybe to sustain more than just those 4?
He's just going to keep growing. It's just experience, last year he had a good year, but he had a senior to lean on and stuff. And this year there's a little bit more on his shoulders, and I think he's really progressed nicely from when the first game to now, because he's had some moments where he's rushed things. And so now he's really, I thought tonight's game, I didn't really see a lot of rush things. A couple of shots that might look like 4 shots, I think were out of necessity, whether it was a shot clock winding down, or maybe even the fact that, it was starting to get late in the game, and we had to get a little quicker possessions and stuff, and we were kind of caught under the gun there. And I liked it in his hands. I mean, his numbers overall, again, are outstanding. He's 6 for 12 from the field, 4 for 7 from 3. For him, he could take probably an early 3 in some situations that we're looking at. And I think his judgment has really, just over, it's only been over a week and a half, and he's played already 5 games. And I think he's really improved in that area. So, he's coming along. He's going to be fine. And same thing with some of our other guys in there. Brevin Walter, I think, has come a long way. He had an over 6'9", but went to the free throw line and got 9 free throws. I mean, that's what you do if you're a shooter and you don't have a great night, is find a way to get to the free throw line and stuff. I think that's really good on his part. He's got to learn to finish better around the rim. We're going to continue to work on that with him, but he's showing progress of some of the things that we're trying to teach him that'll help him along. And I think if he just continues to keep progress down that way, you're going to see some really good things out of him as well.
Another person I wanted to bring up was Colton Fergally. He, was playmaking all night. He didn't stuff the stat sheet, but I believe he had 4 assists all in the first half. He was really doing a good job penetrating and getting it down into the posts.
Yeah, no, I mean, Colton is a guy that honestly his fault is that he sometimes doesn't get aggressive enough. And he kind of sometimes gets, just kind of where he's just kind of off and not thinking. And so we got to continue to keep putting that in his head, like, you're a good player. And obviously he showed tonight, he had some really, I thought, fantastic passes interiorly. And then he can finish. He had, again, another amazing play off baseline. He's got some really good bounce to him. Was able to split 2 defenders and finish at the front of the rim. That was a super athletic play. And so he can do some things as well. I would like to see more out of him. And I like it when we can play him and Ollie together, because that gives us 2 playmakers on the floor. And we just got to get more aggressive to do that. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate you coming out, though.